Sometimes you talk too much. It's been certainly, yeah, my MO is not to say much. How's it look?
This guy here is Deontay Christmas, an all-Atlantic 10 guard that electrified the city of Philadelphia and eventually would suit up for the Phoenix Suns. This right here, this is Coach Fran Dunphy, a legendary coach that some may know as Mr. Big Five. As part of a bet between him and Christmas, one that included him shaving his iconic mustache in return for Christmas graduating from Temple, he's shown keeping his word. A gesture like this might show you what kind of man Fran Dunphy is. Selfless, willing to embarrass himself for someone else's gain. A true leader and a mentor, focused on setting his guys up for life after basketball. A Philadelphia staple. As you can see, the media in this room are quite fond of Dunphy. He often has a similar curmudgeon demeanor like the likes of Bill Belichick or Greg Popovich, but everyone knows his intentions and purpose behind that. In this little old competition known as the Big Five, there's nobody quite like Dunphy. The argument could and will be made that he's the most respected man in this tradition.
I don't know if there's anybody that has won as many games, has coached as long, is as widely respected and loved.
Everybody that meets him feels that they are his best friend, and it's a gift that he has, and it is extraordinary, and it cannot be duplicated.
Here's how Fran Dunphy came to be Mr. Big Five. Dunphy likely started his involvement in the Big Five as a fan, growing up in nearby Philadelphia suburb of Drexel Hill. More formally, however, his real journey to becoming Mr. Big Five started as a player for LaSalle in the 1960s. Dunphy was a solid player that played a role in an incredibly talented Explorers team, highlighted by star Ken Durrett. He was a part of one of the most famous Big Five games of all time, as 17-1 LaSalle took on 16-2 Villanova in 1969.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for this special Big Five Classic presentation, a game for the ages. I am Dee Lynham. Number 7 LaSalle with a record of 17-1, taking on 8th-ranked Villanova, who was 16-2 at the famed Palestra.
Well, it was a great build-up to the game. There's no question about that. Villanova had been playing terrific basketball. I thought our team was playing great from the, we actually had lost one game in December, late December, so we were playing well. This is a lot of years ago, but what I remember, it was intense. Everybody was nervous like you can't believe. But that was one of the great things, though, was sitting in that locker room.
Dunphy's senior year, he excelled under LaSalle legend and then coach Tom Gola, averaging nearly 19 points per game. Perhaps it was here where he caught the bug for coaching. Before then, however, Dunphy had a call of duty. He served for the U.S. Army, where, when he was enlisted, helped coach the Army's basketball team. It was there where he famously met Coach K and started a long-lasting friendship with this iconic coach. After his service, Dunphy returned to the Philadelphia area to become the basketball coach at suburban prep school Malvern Prep, where he himself had attended. From then on, Dunphy only coached outside of Philadelphia for 4 years, as an assistant at American. He returned back to his alma mater as an assistant at LaSalle in 1985, starting his career as Mr. Big Five. Perhaps Dunphy's introduction to most Philadelphia area basketball fans was in 1989, when he was named head coach of the University of Pennsylvania. Before Dunphy's arrival, Penn had certainly had their runs of dominance in this historic conference. Basketball at this institution has a culture and history as rich as its alumni base. As many of you know, the argument can be made that the Palestra, sometimes called the cathedral of college basketball, is the most famed in the sport. At the time of Dump's arrival, however, the Ivy was dominated by the Tigers of Princeton. After 3 seasons of Princeton championships, Dunphy rattled off his own streak, taking home the hardware in 93, 94, and 95. Through that stretch, Dunphy led one of the Big Five's best ever, Penn guard Jerome Allen.
Fran Dunphy was probably but is probably like the best at just getting it, for lack of a better way of saying it. He was a great coach, still is a great coach, but he was even a greater human being. And that's something that I said I always wanted to emulate.
In 17 seasons under Dunphy, Penn won 11 Ivy League championships. He posted 9 20-plus win seasons, amassed the most wins in school history, and even had the Quakers ranked in the top 25. Dunphy led Penn to 9 trips to March Madness, and since his departure in 2006, they've only been to 2.
Fran Dunphy, as happy as he was at Penn, happier now that he's at Temple.
I've always been a pretty happy guy. I'm a pretty lucky guy. pretty lucky guy, Greg. So things are great for me, and I'm happy to be right where I am. I had wonderful years at Penn, and now I'm at a place that I'm enjoying very much, enjoying the atmosphere and the players and the opportunity. I'm really enjoying it.
After turning Penn into an NCAA tournament regular, it was time for a new challenge for Dunphy, this time with higher stakes. He was named the Temple Owls head coach in 2006, directly following one of the biggest icons in the sport of college basketball.
John Chaney, your career has been one remarkable success after another. You may call yourself old-fashioned. We call you simply one of the great teacher coaches there have ever been in this game. You have been a mentor to so many, you have inspired so many, and you are completely respected by your colleagues across the country. For all of these achievements, and for you being such a special person for this game, by vote of the Honors Committee, and by the power vested in the Board of Trustees, it is my privilege to induct you as a coach into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame with all rights and privileges. Congratulations.
Many coaches would falter under the spotlight with the departure of a Hall of Fame coach, not Dunphy. He put together a run of dominance that would solidify his spot on that same podium.
He's a special guy. He makes you, he teaches you lessons while you're at Temple. Like he doesn't make anything easy. Like I said, I didn't play my first year, and maybe if I'd have played, I wouldn't have had the qualities that I have now, just persevering through different things and not giving up when things get tough. So coach prepares you for life. And then coach also, man, like everything you do, he does, like, or he has done in his lifetime. He doesn't make his players do anything that he hasn't done before or that he wouldn't do. Like he does push-ups with us, he lifts weights with us, like he's up early in the morning with us. So like everything that we do, he does. So
Fran Dunphy's doing push-ups?
Yeah, at his old age. At his old age, he's still doing push-ups.
Legend. That's awesome.
Coach is a Hall of Fame guy, man. And when it comes to like on-court adjustments, there's nobody better than that. Like he'll take the first half to the second half and adjustments. He's spot on with everything.
Temple's run under Dunphy's tenure is nothing short of spectacular. While Chaney dominated the A-10, Dunphy continued his legacy right where he left off, especially with an onslaught of complications to the modern age of college basketball. Dunphy started on fire. After the first year at the helm, he then rounded off 3 A-10 tournament championships and 2 regular season titles. He brought the Owls to 8 NCAA tournament championships in his 13 years, highlighted by a run to the Sweet 16 in 2012. From 2007 to 2013, he made 7 consecutive tournaments. His Temple teams reached AP highs of 21, 19, and 12 nationally. He amassed a coaching record of 270 and 162. If Dunphy had stopped here, he would be the only coach in history to man 2 different head coaching jobs within the Big Five. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you know Dunphy did not stop here.
I'd like to officially welcome the 20th head men's basketball coach back to 20th and only. Welcome home, Coach Fran Dunphy.
I've seen you guys talk a lot of like high praise towards Dunphy, so let's start there. When you guys first heard he's coming, then maybe we can move on to next year and now.
There was a lot of names out there and a lot of rumors. Like we were talking about Gallagher from Hartford and how that program was going to collapse and he was going to come to LaSalle, and oh my gosh, I mean there was just so many names thrown out there.
Yeah,
and it was the most obvious one. The most obvious one, it was Fran Dunphy all along. He was literally there on the sideline calling games, doing the broadcasts. He cannot stay away. And it's the perfect fit because he's an alum and he knows what's going on at LaSalle and he is willing to help. And I don't think you could have gotten the next top coaching prospect in the NCAA. I don't think it would have mattered as much as this one does, as much as Fran Dunphy matters, because he cares for this university, unlike a hired hand or somebody that would just come in looking to build this program back up for a personal career perspective. This is not personal for Fran. This is not a career building move for Fran. This is, I literally love LaSalle. I'm giving back because they gave so much to me.
Oh my goodness! LaSalle And I just, Coach Dunphy, he doesn't have to be doing this right now. And when I talked to him before the St. Louis game, I said, Coach, like, why come back? He said, because my alma mater called me and they asked for help. And that's what you do. When your alma mater calls and they need help, you help them. And that's just what I'm trying to do. He was cool, calm, collected. It was just super impressive to listen to him and hear him say that.
Fran Dunphy is about as Philly as cheesesteaks, soft pretzels, and Werder ice.
It's the greatest city in the world. I think we have everything. I think we have great culture. I think we have great education. My family's here. My friends are all here. And I have that idea of why would you want to leave? Because you got the greatest city in the world.